like to invite Hetty, the entrepreneur. She is a businesswoman who has walked a mile and is here to share with us her entrepreneurial journey. Now, in the dynamic realm of entrepreneurship, Hetty, the entrepreneur, stands as a beacon of innovation, expertise, and unparalleled success. As South Africa's preeminent monetization expert, Hetty has not only reshaped the landscape of business, but has also shaped her unique strategies on esteemed platforms such as Forbes Africa. Heralded as South Africa's #1 monetization expert, Hetty has revolutionized the art of turning ideas into revenue streams. She's also a prolific writer and author, a prolific author and educator. Her book, Monetize with Hetty, is a 21-day guide that delves into the psychology of monetization and imparts fundamental strategies on financial success. And recently, she was bestowed with an honorary award for her excellent contribution to entrepreneurship in South Africa by the Top 40 Under 40. Now, this accolade is a testament to her dedication to fostering a culture of innovation and success within South African, the entrepreneurial community. A round of applause, please.
I was wondering what's next because I don't have a presentation. I'm curiously looking. Oh, that's lovely, it's me. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute honor and privilege it is to be here. Thank you, Queen, for putting this together. Really and truly, as a person who organizes events myself, I know the stress that goes on behind the scenes in putting together such an incredible event. So thank you so much for creating this platform, and to your sponsors as well who have yielded to the call to support and create this amazing platform. Ladies, I'm very excited to be connecting with you. I really feel within my spirit that there's a change that is coming about in the world in terms of the way that women are viewed and the way that women are represented. The tide is shifting, and this is our time. I hope you know that. I hope that you feel it within the depths of your esophagus, because I feel it. I really, really feel that in the different spaces that women find themselves in, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's in their career, whether it's within their homes, we are taking ownership. We are starting to develop and recognize our own voices, and we are using it as vehicles for change. And that for me is an exciting thing. So can you just give yourselves a round of applause? You know, the 18th floor is no longer reserved for a few. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, well done, I'm proud of you. But I'm also coming. Yes, because there is space for absolutely all of us in the different spaces that we occupy. So when we take up positions, we don't have to be the last woman that has ever taken up that position. We can make the circle bigger. And instead of asking for a seat at the table, we now have agency. We can actually analyze that table and think to ourselves, do I like the way it's been structured? In fact, when I go closer to that table, it now looks a little bit wonky. Do I actually like the individuals that are sitting on that table? Do they advocate for me? Are these people that I actually want to be associated with? Or do I want to build my own table? We have agency. And that is what I want to talk about today. I've been asked to talk about the future of entrepreneurship. And often at times when we talk about entrepreneurship, those of my corporate girlies, the ones that are climbing the corporate ladder, think, oh no, this is my time to quickly catch up on emails. I want to challenge you to say that absolutely every single one of us is in business. You might be in the business of your career. You might be in the business of your personal brand. You might be in the business of growing your retail business, whether it's a product or service business. But no matter whatever it is that you are doing to earn a revenue for yourself, or that gives you a sense of purpose when you wake up in the morning, that is your business. And it is time that we all started treating ourselves as though we are a business. Because the people that move up into the top echelons of society are the ones that are not waiting for the road to be paved for them, but actually say, let me just carve my own way. I don't actually have time for somebody to pave the way for me. They'll find me in front. So when we talk about the future of business, I want us to talk about how we can leverage the digital space to actually be able to build the lives of our dreams. I'm not talking airy-fairy stuff. I'm not going to tell you about how AI is here and we should all take it seriously. I want to talk about the future today. How you can leverage it today already, not in 20 or 30 years' time, now in 2024. By a quick show of hands, and you can even just throw out some answers, how many types of new professions exist today that did not exist 20 years ago? Throw some out at me. Virtual assistants, data scientists, influencers, coaching, content creators, virtual assistants. The world is changing. The world is evolving. Are you evolving with it? Interestingly enough, there are people at university today, some of them are your children, some of them are people that you know and love, who are studying for careers and professions that will not exist in the next 15 to 20 years' time. That means that the future of your career or your business is not only about what you have studied, but how adaptable you are to change. I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you to show you the ways in which the future of entrepreneurship exists within us today. The year was 2020. March of 2020. We all remember what happened in March of 2020. We were fooled into thinking that we would only be in 21 days of lockdown. Remember that? It was a highly stressful time of uncertainty. On a very human level, we all went through collective trauma. Something that we actually seldom speak about, which is quite unfortunate. I remember sitting there because at the time, my husband and I were running the fastest growing African print retail brand in South Africa, P&H Boutique. We'd left our corporate jobs. We were full-time entrepreneurs. We had 7 retail stores across South Africa. We had a factory. We were employing people, and we believed that we were living our absolute dream. Until, lo and behold, we were told that we're not an essential service. Who knew that fashion is not an essential service? And so we had to close our retail stores. And there I was sitting in that sitting room and thinking to myself, now what? What is my new normal? What if this is an opportunity to dream again? What if this is an opportunity to finally make me just sit still for a moment and evaluate, Hetty, what do you really want out of life? And in that moment, I answered a very important question, which I would love for you to write down and ponder upon in your own quiet time. The question that I asked and answered for myself was, if time and money were not a factor, what would you be doing with your life? If time and money were not a factor, what would you be doing with your life? Would you be doing philanthropic work? Would you be spending more time with your children? Would you move into a safer neighborhood? Would you wake up differently in the morning to birds chirping as opposed to having a heart attack every time your alarm rings? What are the things that would change in your life? Would you be an answered prayer to somebody who's looking for donations for charity work? If time and money were not a factor, what would you be doing with your life? When I sat down and answered that question, some of the things that came up for me was, I love my physical business, I love the retail stores, but actually, in as much as I believe that I'm living a dream, it's actually stolen quite a lot from me. There's so many events of loved ones that I did not attend because I needed to be in store. There's so many things that I wish I could have done, but the physical demands of running a big retail business was just too much. I then said to myself, I would love to run a digital business that doesn't require me to physically be there. I would love to mentor entrepreneurs with sales, marketing, and monetization skills. And I would love to earn in multiple currencies. If I'm a child of this world, and if all of us have dominion over the world, pray tell, why are we only earning in South African rands? You see, the new normal is also about challenging the way that we think. Because we know that every single thing, before it manifests into reality, it first starts off as a thought. So the mind is the birthplace of ideas. The moment I began to start thinking that way, the world began opening up to me. I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to become an entrepreneurship mentor and coach, I might as well put myself out there, because how am I going to coach someone if they don't even know I exist? So there I was in March of 2020 with my 200 followers on Instagram. I picked up my smartphone, I switched on Instagram, and I said, hello, my name is Hetty the entrepreneur. I'm a monetization expert. This is my first Instagram Live. And for the next 12 months, I am committed to coming online and teaching you skills that are going to help you grow your business. I'm afraid, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. The new normal is about feeling an irritation in your comfort zone that actually, you know what, I think there's more. I think there is more that I can achieve with my life. What if I stepped out of my comfort zone and just put a step into my courage zone? Doing it afraid, doing it trembling. Over the months that preceded, and let me tell you something, my first Instagram Live was an absolute disaster, by the way. Don't see me standing up here all confident. It was a disaster. In fact, I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me whole. There were 2 people on the live. At some point, I think one person dropped off and there was one person left. And I think the person that was left was just showing me moral support. But I just decided, if I just keep going, if I just keep teaching, at some point it will grow. And over the weeks, then there was 5 people, then there was 7 people, then 10 people, then 20 people, and then it began to grow. I consistently did this until I hosted my first paid-for webinar. Because I fundamentally believe that our gifts will make room for us. And I fundamentally believe that your talents can pay you. And so I hosted a webinar, WhatsApp for Business. And the reason I did that is because it's such an occupational hazard. I see so many entrepreneurs using WhatsApp for their business and doing it so incorrectly. And my husband can tell you, he's that handsome man over there, by the way. He can tell you how much money we have made from WhatsApp. Just using free tools that are available to all of us, but using it strategically in business to actually make money. And so I hosted a webinar to teach people how to do this. I made 2,500 Rand from that webinar. That is the best 2,500 Rand of my life. And the reason for that is because I realized that if I can make 2,000 Rand from my knowledge, that means I can make 200,000 Rand, which means I can make 2 million Rand. Because you see, success is the careful repetition of consistency over time. The distance between where you are right now and where you want to be is consistency. The people that you know, that you like and you admire and you follow, they have just been consistent over time. So success is paved by the road of consistency. And that for me was absolutely amazing. Fast forward now, we are in 2024. The business is no longer just, a solopreneur. My husband and I run a monetization agency. In fact, it's the only monetization agency in South Africa. And we train and mentor entrepreneurs to be able to take their unique gifts, talents, expertise to grow within the online space, whether it's through their personal brand or whether it's through their businesses. And we also partner with organizations that have a mandate to support entrepreneurs to be able to create that bridge between ourselves and the organizations being able to access entrepreneurs. We do coaching, we do mentorship, we do events that they're able to plug into. In fact, our mentorship club now spans across 6 countries. That is because we are utilizing the online space. We no longer have to physically meet anymore. Like Queen so aptly conveyed to us, the online space has become a space in which you can create anything that you want to create. You can be domiciled in Midrand and yet be working for a company in America. So my charge to you today is to say, what is your business? What are you in the business of? And how can you leverage the online space to meet your business objectives? We work with many people within corporate, individuals that come to us and say, Hetty, I want to be able to move up the corporate ladder. How do I build my personal brand so that I can make myself distinguishable in the crowd? So that I can increase the memorability factor? So that I can become an asset to my company through leveraging digital mediums? The truth of the matter is that now recruiters Google you. Your CV is no longer the only thing that is taken into consideration when it comes to the recruitment space. We now Google you. So when we Google you, is what we are going to see going to be an asset or a liability to where you want to see yourself going? There are individuals who are employed by companies, but are also partnered with their companies because they have built a following to the point that they can become brand ambassadors for their employer. The online space is not for some of us, it's for absolutely all of us. It's a space in which we are able to leverage, to be able to recognize our career, our professional, and our business goals. One of my own goals in life, as Queen and Lerato so rightly mentioned, was to become an author. In the past, in order to be an author, you needed to have a huge publishing deal. You needed to be a person that is widely recognized to be able to be in bookstores. Now, because of the ability to write a book, and by building our entrepreneurship community, all of our sales are made through our own platform. You have agency. The new normal is happening right now. It's not something that is happening in the future. It's not something that is happening in 20 or 30 years' time. It is happening right now. And so to you, I say, if time and money were not a factor, what would you be doing with your life? Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Hetty. Sure, so much food for thought there, hey? Wow, I almost feel like we need 2 minutes just to take it all in.